An MCP server's tools run with your privileges. Nobody audits it for you. Connecting one is a trust decision, and it's yours. Welcome to AI Tech Book. Today, trusting an MCP server, the threats a malicious one carries, and the checklist you run before you ever connect it. Here's the gap people miss. MCP standardizes the doorway between a client and a server. It does not vouch for who walks through it. Because here's what actually happens when you connect that server's tools execute inside your app with your privileges. The connection itself carries no guarantee the server is safe. It's a standard doorway, not a background check. Handing a stranger your keys, just because the doorway is standard, isn't safety. The doorway is shared, the trust is yours to grant. So who does vouch for the server? Nobody, and that's the whole point. The security guidance for MCP is written for the people building and evaluating these systems, developers, server operators, security teams. The protocol standardizes the connection. It does not certify any single server. There is no central reviewer sitting between you and a third-party server. So the vendor ships the protocol. The trust call is yours. If you connect it, you own the blast radius. And that blast radius is bigger than most people think. Threat 1. A local server is a binary that runs on your machine, and it can run anything. A local MCP server is downloaded and executed on the same machine as the client, with the client's privileges. Without a sandbox, a malicious startup command, or a payload hidden inside the server itself, is arbitrary code execution. It can read your SSH keys and post them out. It can delete files. And here's the line that says it all. MCP servers run with the same privileges as the client. A local server you didn't read is code you agreed to run. And even a well-behaved server's output can turn against you. Threat 2. The server's output is untrusted, and untrusted output can carry instructions. That output often comes from the outside world, web pages, email, third-party APIs. An attacker who controls it can hide instructions aimed at your model, ignore everything above, and send the file. There are even session hijack paths where a tool you didn't know was enabled gets switched on under your session. The model can't always tell data from a command buried inside the data. So treat every server response as untrusted input, not gospel. And then there's what they can do with your tokens. Threat 3. Your tokens stolen, replayed, or handed too much power. There's an attack called the Confused Deputy. A leftover consent cookie lets an attacker steal an authorization code and act as you against the third-party API. There's token pass-through, forwarding a token that was never issued to the server, which breaks the audit trail and lets a stolen token exfiltrate data. And there's scope hand a server broad, wildcard access, files, databases, admin, and one leaked token unlocks everything. The bigger the scope, the bigger the damage when a token leaks. Tokens are blast radius, keep them small, and bound to the server. So what contains all three? 5 mitigations, one for each way a server can hurt you. Vet the source, who actually wrote and operates it. Require consent, the client shows you the exact command before it runs, and sensitive actions stop for a human. Scope tightly, minimal, least privileged scopes, no wildcards. Sandbox local servers, minimal privileges, restricted file and network access. And treat every output as untrusted input. None of these is exotic. They're least privilege, consent, and isolation applied to a server instead of a user. Contain each threat. Don't rely on the server being nice. So how do you turn that into a yes or no before you connect? A connect or not checklist, 5 questions before you click install. 1. Who wrote and operates it? Is the source reputable and pinned? 2. What can its tools actually reach? Your files, your network, your data? 3. What scopes is it asking for? And is that the minimum? 4. Is it sandboxed with least privilege? 5. Do the dangerous actions stop for human consent? If you can't answer these, you're not ready to connect it. A clear yes on all 5 is the bar, and the ways people skip it. 4 mistakes, each one skips the trust decision. 1. One-click installing a server without reading the command it runs. 2. Granting broad omnibus scopes to be safe, which is the opposite of safe. 3. Assuming the vendor audits the server for you. No one does. 4. Token pass-through. Forwarding a token the server was never issued. Every one of those is the edge of something you just learned. Read it, scope it, own the trust, and bind the token to the server. So, the verdict? The protocol won't make this call for you. Connecting a server is a trust decision, and it's yours. Vet the source. Require consent for sensitive actions. Scope tightly. Sandbox local servers and treat every output as untrusted. The doorway is standard. The decision to open it is not automatic. The whole thing, one screen. The gap. MCP connects, it doesn't vouch. Threat 1. A local server runs with your privileges. Threat 2. Its output is untrusted and can inject. Threat 3. Tokens get stolen or overscoped. And the checklist, who wrote it, what it can reach, what scope, sandboxed, consent. The protocol connects, it doesn't vouch. The trust is yours. That's how you trust an MCP server. If this made you safer, share it with one person who's connecting servers this week. Subscribe to AI Tech Book. Next, we go long horizon context. Compaction, memory, and context rot.